David Davis has called for the government to press forward with Brexit negotiations amid the coronavirus crisis, revealing that the EU will now go for the UK's offer if it had any sense at all. David Davis has warned that extending the Brexit trade negotiations will only serve to plunge the economy back into uncertainty. The former Brexit secretary told LBC that the European Union would be more willing to accept the UK's demands now in order to avoid further financial hardship. As the world continues to battle against the coronavirus pandemic, some figures such as Michel Barnier and Owen Jones have called for an extension to the transition period. Asked by host Nick Ferrari whether Brexit should proceed, Mr. Davis said, "Yes, it does need to carry on. The one time, apart from what's happening now, that we had an economic downturn since the 2017 election was when we delayed departure. The uncertainty made all the businesses, even those claiming they didn't want to leave, suffer. You don't want to change that. You don't want to have another level of uncertainty." He continued, "Secondly, frankly, the European Union, if it has any sense at all, would go for the option we are talking about, which is no tariffs, no quotas. You'd have to be a lunatic to put tariffs and quotas on under the current economic circumstances, so now is the time to do it. That is what we should do. The cutoff point for requesting an extension to the transition period is June." Britain's chief negotiator David Frost and EU counterpart Michel Barnier have resumed discussions by video call as they race to strike an agreement before the deadline. Mr. Jones was adamant that an extension was needed, telling Channel 5's Jeremy Vine show, "We should assess where we're at later on in the year. We should assess our economic situation, which is going to be very dire, before doing something which is just going to pile on even more economic turmoil and lead to even more people losing their jobs, having their wages being hit. Let's just be pragmatic, let's just see where we're at, but I don't think we should go head-on into a cliff." Mr. Barnier said that the UK could not refuse to extend the transition while slowing down discussions on important areas. But Transport Secretary Grant Shapps refuted claims there had been no progress, and emphasised that an extension would not be entertained. Mr. Shapps told the Daily Briefing on Monday, "People may not be aware that these have been continuing in this period, and they take place via video. The latest round has just taken place, and it included some very good progress in some areas. We're not going to entertain an extension to the transition period. That remains the case. We think the best way of providing certainty to all businesses out there is to know that we're not going to keep chopping and changing."